Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Hey guys, welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies. And does anyone remember Monsters Inc? Remember Monsters Inc? Yeah, remember that song, Monsters Inc? Well, guess what? Something that I absolutely love they did is they actually took that song and made it the intro to their show, Monsters Inc. Monsters at Work. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but dude, I thought that was incredible. Yes, in today's video, we are going to be, of course, talking about Monsters at Work and giving my initial thoughts on the show. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start. First off, Monsters Inc. What a great, timeless movie. I can't believe. Can you believe this? This movie was made 20 years ago, guys. 20 years ago. And simply put, I decided, you know what? I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch Monsters Inc. I watched it just after I watched Monsters at Work. And I'm amazed at the animation. Like, only 1 second. There was only maybe two little frames of the movie, two little seconds of the movie where I felt like, yeah, the animation didn't stand up. But for the most part, it stood up, and that's incredible. I know movies that were made 5 years ago that still do not stand up to today's standards in animation. Like, their animation was good for the time 5 years ago, and now they look like trash. You know, it's amazing that movie, 20 years in the making, still looks this good. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and not talk about the movie, but let's go ahead and talk about the show. Well, no, I'm going to talk about the movie just for a little bit more. Something that I loved about the Monsters Inc. movie, something that I loved about it was the world building. Like, I thought it was really cool how they came up with the idea of monsters have to scare kids to create powers. And I really like the idea that laughter is more powerful than fear, you know? That's just I really enjoyed the whole movie. I really enjoyed the whole aspect of the movie. But something that I've always wanted to see more of is the Monsters Inc. world. I think the world's like Monstropolis or whatever it's called. I want to see more of the monster world. I've always wanted to see more of the monster world, especially the Monsters Inc. factory. That's the one that I wanted to see the most. Like, how cool would it be? Like, I mean, I have always wanted to see, even when I was a little kid, I have always wanted to see a Monsters Inc. show. At the time, I was a kid and I didn't understand about money and the fact that animation costs a whole lot. If they did do a show at the time that I wanted to come out, it would have probably have been 2D animation because there was no way they could have done this 3D animation back then. But nowadays, we have the technology to basically put this type of animation in the show, and I'm not even kidding. The show looks not only exactly like the movie, I mean exactly down to a T, but it's pristine. It's really clean, clear animation. I feel like it's better movement than the animation that came from Monsters Inc. the first movie. When I watched it. Now I know you guys are going to ask my opinion on Monsters University. It's a fun movie. I really wish they did a sequel instead of a prequel. I mean, I enjoyed Monsters University, but it's not like Monsters Inc. You know, it's okay. It's okay. I wish we saw more of the world in that. Instead, we only got to really see the school. Like, that's the thing. I want to see the monster world, and I want to see more of the Monster Factory. So, when they announced they were going to be doing a show, Monsters at Work, I was, of course, all over the idea. I wanted to see it, but obviously I got busy. I got work and YouTube videos to the point where I actually forgot that Monsters at Work even came out. And that's why this video, I guess you could say it's a late review, because I just started watching it the other day. I watched the first 3 episodes. They only have 3 episodes out at the time I'm making this video. I've really enjoyed every single moment of it. So basically the premise is this. We have this guy, Trevor, and he wants to be a top scarer at Monsters Inc., right? So he goes to Monster Inc., and unfortunately for him, he didn't get the memo that the factory is dead. The factory is dead. No more scare power. No more scare power. You know what there is, though? Laugh power. So he wants to be a jokester now, but they stick him in maintenance. They stick him in maintenance. He has to go to maintenance. And the other characters, I can't remember anyone by name. I can't remember any one of them by name. But there's this like elephant one that is really funny. He's like the boss of the maintenance crew. And I can't remember the name that they use for the maintenance crew. It's something goofy. Monster. I can't remember it, but it's something goofy. And then there's his second in command, I guess, who wants his job and thought that our boy Trevor was going to take his job. So I really liked the humor in this show. I really liked the humor in the show. It fits the Monsters world exactly from the movie. I enjoyed every moment of it. I really, really did. Now, with that said, I want to say this for sure. This is definitely 100% another kids movie. A kids show. I keep saying movie because Monsters Inc. is a movie, but it's a kids show. It's a good kids show. And truth be told, 20 years. I'm 24, guys. I don't have any kids, but I have nieces and nephews. And the fact is, a lot of people my age probably do have kids. And, you know, they want to sit down with their kids and watch a good show together, right? And probably pick a good show out to share with their kids, and something that could also entertain not only the kid but relate to something from your childhood is a possibly good option. And I think Monsters Inc., Monsters at Work, is that show. I think it's a great show to show to kids, and yes, I do indeed. When my nephew's a little older, he's kind of I think he's like 2. I think I'll wait till he's like about 4 or 5, because 4 or 5 is when I think he'll be interested in. Like right now, he doesn't care. Same thing with my niece. My niece is literally a year old, so I don't think she's gonna care either. But later on, when they're a little older, I would definitely like to show them not only Monsters Inc., but Monsters at Work. I think this is a fine TV show. With that said, I don't have anything bad against it. I don't have anything to say against it, actually. It's not like a show that, as an adult, you're going to watch and like go nuts for, with all of its crazy story, fantastic action. It's nothing like that. It's a kid's show. It's rated G, you know? But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's actually really a great, fun, entertaining show. And if you're a Monsters Inc. fan, like I was, it can at least, you know, bring back some childhood memories. And I have a lot of childhood memories of watching Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is and still is my favorite movie from I almost said DreamWorks. My favorite movie from Pixar, Disney. I almost said DreamWorks. I'm thinking of DreamWorks Dragons, that's why. I got dragons on the brain because of, I just watched How to Train Your Dragon as well. I haven't seen that movie in years, so. But, yes. Back to Monsters Inc. the premise of the show, it's a good premise. I liked the characters. I can't remember anyone by name except the main character, Trevor. And I also like the fact that, and I'm amazed that they did this, but Sully and Mike are actually main characters of the show too. Not the main characters. Most of the focus is on Trevor and his friends, or co-workers. But Sully and Mike are the bosses of Monsters Incorporated. So they're always there. They're there in every episode. I love that. Now I will say this. They're doing something to their voices, because I don't know. I listened to that and then I watched Monsters Inc. and I can tell you what, they must have played with the voices with technology a little bit, because it does sound just a tiny bit off, but it sounds close enough to buy it, you know? They do sound pretty much exactly like Sully and Mike from the show, and from the movie, and I really like the fact that they kept that. That's something that's obviously important. Now, something I must say, is it possible that the show retcons what happens at the end of Monsters Inc., the movie? No, and I'll tell you why. I don't know this for a fact, but this show takes place a day after the factory closed. Monsters Inc., when Sully sees Boo again, thanks to Mike building the door, I think that's like a year later. I mean, think about how long it could have took Mike to put together that shred door again. I think, I'm not sure, but I think that could take place a year later, and I don't think that this show retcons anything that happens in the movie at all. And indeed, like, when you watch the movie, there's like a huge party at the end, like, they've been in business for a while, you know? I really don't think that this will be retcon, because Sully meeting Boo again, if they retcon that, that would suck. Because that's one of the greatest things about that movie. And I love the fact that we don't get to see Boo either. We just hear Boo and Sully smiles. That's the end of the movie. I love that. It's such a good movie. And yeah, I don't think they're gonna be retconning that ending, but if that's the only reason why you don't like Monsters at Work, again, I don't think they are. I think Monsters at Work takes place just before, like a year before Sully gets to see Boo again. I don't think they're retconning anything. So, yeah, I really do think that this is a show worth watching. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a kid's show. And that's not to say it's bad, but it's not like Clone Wars. Clone Wars is a kid's show, but Clone Wars is like for older kids. This is for a little bit of a younger audience, not babies. I would say somewhere between the ages of 7 to 10, 7 to 11. You know, just like the Monsters Inc. original movie was. I was like 4, 5 when it came out, but I don't think I saw it until I was like about 7 or 8, so at that perfect age to watch Monsters Inc. Like, to me, I think maybe 5 or 6 is a perfect age to watch Monsters Inc. because it's a little scary, you know? I'm just gonna say it. I was scared of Sully at one point, but no, that movie is incredible. That movie is incredible. So let me know your thoughts about Monsters at Work down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out.